Hello friends and welcome to my lair. Today I'm going to show you the brisket that I built from Rodin. Now before I launch into telling you about this model, the build, and all of that good stuff, I just wanted to say really quick that the whole reason I started this YouTube channel was so that I could share my joy of modeling. I mean, I actually really like to build models, which is why I do it, and I wanted to share that with all of you. And I know a lot of YouTubers will say things like, hey, if you want to support my channel, go give me money here and there and all of that. And who knows, someday I'll probably go ahead and start trying to get your money too. But for now, if you want to support what I'm trying to do, you can share this video. Honestly, I just want to share all of the fun that I'm having right now. And so if you know somebody that would enjoy this, or you have a friend and you think, oh, maybe he'd like to see this airplane, just send them the video and I'd really appreciate that. So with that said, I'm going to make a very controversial statement, and I'm just going to come out and say it. I think the Fb2 was the best plane of World War I. Now I know that statement is fraught with dire pitfalls, but from the tail end of 1916 to beyond the end of the war, this heavy fighter was a force to be reckoned with. It was that machine that allowed the renowned Canadian ace Andrew McKeever to chalk up his 30 victories. And we could add to that, by the way, the 8 kills that his observer scored firing from the rear. This particular kit that I've built represents a Biff piloted by Captain Richard Williams. In the instructions to the kit, he's listed as Captain R. Williams, but a little digging in the Australian War Memorial will give you a wealth of details and lots of nice photos. Clearly, the Aussies are proud of their service in the Great War, and having studied their conduct, especially in the RAFC, I'd have to say they have a good reason to be. Williams is a good case in point. He was a straight-laced man and an excellent commander. He was a flight leader in No. 1 Squadron in 1916 when it was stationed in Egypt and equipped with the unfortunate BE-2 planes. However, by 1918 he had been promoted to command No. 1 when it aided operations in Palestine with the fantastic Bristol Fb2s. Later on, he rose in rank all the way to Air Marshal, and many consider him to be the father of the Australian Air Force. However, I didn't actually initially choose to build this option because of Williams, as remarkable as he is. In fact, I was drawn to the unique and interesting painting scheme. And this is one of the reasons I love scale modeling. Once I saw it and began building the plane, I had a burning desire to know more about the plane, and why it had that curious half-white scheme. Well, I went through several books about the Australian Flying Corps. The one I recommend most for its readability and completeness is Fire in the Sky, The Australian Flying Corps in the First World War by Michael Mulkinton. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyway, I never figured out specifically why the half-white pattern was adopted, but I did find an anecdote that may be true, where a particularly good pilot got his plane shot up, and was able to land and get it repaired. The problem was that they had the fabric and the dope to repair the wing, but not the paint to match the rest of the plane. Apparently they were shipped to Egypt already painted that greenish chocolate color. So the pilot had to fly with half his wing camouflaged and the other half just plain canvas color. Well, he was a very feared pilot, and the Turks and the Germans began avoiding this distinctive plane. So everyone then got into it and started having parts of their planes painted white also. Now, I'm telling this from memory, so don't take it as the gospel truth, and if you have more insight, please let me know in the comments. As for Rodin's representation of the plane, well, I have a love-hate with Rodin as a model manufacturer. I love that they produce many of these World War I kits in 1/72 scale, but I hate that the molds are often terrible, leading to tons of flash and very serious fit issues. I really enjoy the challenge they present, but on the same token, I hate some of the construction choices Rodin makes. Like sometimes they'll have a wing come in 2 pieces that need to be glued together. Now I don't mean like top half, bottom half, that's really easy like many manufacturers will do, but I mean right down the middle. Like literally the starboard wing and the port wing are complete, but need to be joined right in the middle along a tiny little seam. Luckily, their brisket doesn't have this particular construction feature. But if you've ever built a biplane, then you know that getting the top wing to fit on right is worse than trying to change a fussy baby. On the brisket, the upper wing and the lower wing are not attached to the fuselage. So, imagine the frustration of the parasol wing times 2. Other than that, though, it's actually not too bad of a build. It is a bummer that you end up constructing this beautiful engine, but then completely cover it up. And I really wish that there was a rigging guide. You can use reference photos to complete the job, but it's really nice when it's just an integral part of the instructions. Overall, I think this makes a very attractive and worthwhile finished product. I will caution you, though, that this isn't for the faint of heart. If you do embark on a Rodin kit, especially the brisket, just stick with it. If you get frustrated or overwhelmed, just put it down, come back the next day. I've been there, and I bet anyone else who's built a Rodin kit will agree. The sense of achievement will be worth it in the end. So, there's my take on Rodin's brisket, Bristol Fb2. And let me know, by the way, if you've actually built one of these. I'd like to see how it came out. And please also let me know if you know or know of, or knew, I guess is probably the correct form for that verb, anyone who flew in them. If you've got somebody in the family who's like, yeah, he was a pilot in World War I, I'd love to hear about that. That'd make some really cool stories. And, well, I'm a historian, so I like to hear that stuff. Also, as always, please leave a like if you like this video, and please leave a dislike if you didn't like the video, and let me know what I can do better. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, because I actually have some cool stuff coming out very soon. Next week, I promise next week, I will have a build video of an F-18, which kind of has a tenuous but personal connection to myself, so stay tuned for that. With all that said, I wish you joy in your lives, and I hope to see you again soon.